Folks think the Bill of Rights gives us our rights. It doesn't. Those rights were there before the ink hit the page. The amendments simply tell the government, hands off. They don't create anything. They recognize what's already ours.
The Bill of Rights isn't a list of favors the government gives us. It's a list of things it can't do. Think of it as little fences. No, you can't come in here around our speech, our homes, our faith. The very first words in our Constitution aren't about the halls of power. They're about us. We, the people, comes before the government itself. The Bill of Rights wasn't written to comfort the government. It was written. Back then, the Bill of Rights wasn't a decoration. Folks insisted on it because they'd seen what happens when too much authority gathers in one pair of hands. Kings, governors, and tax collectors had all pressed too hard. Sometimes talk as if our rights are favors handed out by officials. They're not. We have them before anyone in an office ever signs a thing. The Bill of Rights doesn't give us permission. It puts a lock on the door. So the Bill of Rights is a solid lock on government power. It keeps officials from lawfully stepping past and trampling our individual freedoms. And that lock stays shut.
The Bill of Rights limits the power of the federal government. The First Amendment is part of that limit. It restrains government interference in core freedoms. The First Amendment forbids the government from establishing a religion. The government may not favor or endorse belief. Neutrality toward religion is mandatory, not optional. The Amendment protects the free exercise of religion. Belief and practice do not require government permission. Restricting practice is a violation of the amendment. The First Amendment protects free speech and a free press. That shield covers even unpopular and dissenting ideas. Forcing people to get permission first breaks the promise. The First Amendment protects peaceful assembly and the right to petition the government. Petition is a demand for redress, not a request for permission. Lawful protest is protected accountability. That's the guarantee.
The Bill of Rights limits the power of the federal government. The Second Amendment is part of that limit. It restrains the government from interfering with personal security.
The Second Amendment recognizes a pre-existing right. The government does not grant this right. Infringement is what the amendment forbids.
The Second Amendment protects lawful self-defense. Danger doesn't keep a schedule or ask permission. Defense reacts, it doesn't invade.
The Second Amendment protects the right to bear arms. Bear means to carry, not symbolic possession. Take away the ability to use them, and the right is hollow.
The Second Amendment does not equate ownership with criminal intent. Responsibility rests with each person. We punish crime after it is done.
The Bill of Rights limits military power inside civilian life. The Third Amendment is part of that limit. It prevents the government from forcing people to house soldiers. The Third Amendment forbids quartering soldiers in private homes. Neither war nor emergency removes the need for consent. Ownership means the government cannot occupy property without permission.
The Bill of Rights limits how the government searches and seizes. The Fourth Amendment is part of that limit. Government intrusion requires prior justification.
The Fourth Amendment requires searches and seizures to be reasonable. An intrusion can't come before a justification. Convenience isn't a legal standard.
The amendment requires warrants based on probable cause. They have to spell out exactly what they're after. Those written limits keep their power in check.
The Bill of Rights protects individuals during accusation. The Fifth Amendment is part of that protection. This amendment restrains coercive power by the government. Dig it? And let me tell you something right now, brother. The Fifth Amendment protects the right to remain silent. Silence is not an admission of guilt. Questioning creates pressure and imbalance. Dig it. Fifth Amendment guarantees due process. The government must follow the rules before it punishes. That procedure keeps its power in check. Dig it?
The Bill of Rights limits how criminal prosecutions are conducted. The Sixth Amendment is part of that limit. It restricts secrecy and delay by law. The Sixth Amendment guarantees a speedy and public trial. When justice drags its feet, the weight becomes the punishment. Keeping the doors open makes sure power behaves itself.
The Bill of Rights limits how civil disputes are decided. The Seventh Amendment is part of that limit. In these cases, citizens decide the facts, not the government.
The Seventh Amendment preserves trial by jury in civil cases. Juries keep institutions from judging themselves. That inefficiency is an intended safeguard.
The Bill of Rights limits how the government punishes. The Eighth Amendment is part of that limit. It keeps punishment restrained even before someone is convicted. The Eighth Amendment forbids excessive bail. Cruel and unusual punishment is unconstitutional. Wealth cannot determine freedom or punishment.
The Bill of Rights does not list every right. The Ninth Amendment addresses that fact. Unlisted rights are still retained by the people.
The Ninth Amendment prevents narrow interpretations of liberty. Listing some rights does not erase others. Liberty is retained by default.
The Bill of Rights limits federal power. The 10th Amendment clarifies that limit. Not all power belongs to the central government. The 10th Amendment reserves powers not delegated to the federal government. Those powers belong to the states or the people. Proximity to consequences matters. The 10th Amendment confirms that power flows upward, not downward. Central authority is a choice, not a default. That closes the Bill of Rights.